What is up, guys? It's been a while since I made a live stream, so I figured I'd go ahead and do that. I've just been doing some work on the map, doing a lot of work on mods and stuff like that. So, anyways, kind of getting sick of both of those, and so figured it'd be a good time to make some more videos. Recently purchased a new feed mixer, and a manure spreader. New models, also new to the farm. So we're gonna drive those back to the farm. Then we have some hay bales we need to move. And who knows? So hopefully, before this, I kind of like tested the recording sounds and settings. So it sounded good to me. So the sound in the game volume and my voice volume, that should all be good to go. So hopefully the follow me mod works for us here. Just pulling all the dealer. I don't think the fence was in. And then I also put in a lot more power lines and stuff around the map. So anyways, these are all full with mix and manure. That was just because I was testing fill planes out earlier. Obviously, when you purchase a piece of equipment, it doesn't have that in there. So this little section of road up here on the right, I had to add a turn lane. It wasn't there before, so I was just kind of like messing around on Google Maps, and I saw that there actually is a turning lane there, so I added that in, and among other things in some other road sections. So. See if we can like buzz back to the farm here. There's a church and parking lot that's going to go here. I just haven't finished the model yet, but and then a couple houses and other buildings there, but slowly but surely. So this spreader is private. It's not available publicly. Same with my mixer wagon. I know there's some people out there trying to troll you guys using my pictures on a shittier spreader that isn't anything close to this. So if you're fooled by that, I guess that's your own fault. So this thing is actually built, both of these pieces of equipment are built within probably 2 inches of exact specs. So I don't know what the other one is. I'm pretty sure it's like totally out of scale and not accurate. So these are the bales I was in the process of moving. So we got our truck over there. So we'll probably finish moving some of those bales. I don't really have any fields I can use to spread this on yet, so we might not do any spreading in this video. have no cut grass that can fertilize. I mean, I guess like I could spread a little bit on some grass. It's not the end of the world. In real life, you'd probably kill your hay crop. So I think I'm gonna adjust the wheels on these. These wheels are supposed to, you can see they're deforming a little bit. I like them to deform a little bit more, just based on the amount of weight this thing is carrying. You can see that these tires on the mixer, they have a pretty good squat going on them. If you follow my Facebook page or Patreon page, you can see that I'm working on a couple other mods that will help us out on our haylage operation. I see we have a troll in the chat. No, unfortunately I have a significant amount of mods that aren't available to the public. And never will be, so. Anyways, the spreader I'll probably park this thing over by our manure pile we have going on. I've been noticing there's been a lot of obsessed fans lately, which is fine. So I'll back this baby up, park there. And then I feel like every time I use follow me mod it acts super weird. It must be like a conflict of controls or something. So this thing is filled to the brim. I imagine we could top off some food maybe. I don't know if we actually have enough cows to actually use this or not. So this thing, you can turn on the augers, and you can't really see it. There's a shaft under here that spinning. When you turn on the mixer to make it mix, really sucks the R's out of it. This mixer is a little bit big for our operation, but better to have more mixed rations than not enough. I don't think there's any room over here. We can try to put it in. So we can try to... Oh yeah, see. Fortunately, we can't put any in, but it's not the end of the world. We can just put this rig in the shed somewhere and call it a day. So that's locked away. Next thing I need to replace is this European tedder. Not really sure what I'm going to do for tedding. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll show you guys what I've been working on the map. I've been adding a lot of power lines. You guys probably saw these last time. I've been working on adding a lot more trees too. So in this area, just going crazy with power lines and trying to getting the trees how they are according to the Google Map, and then this is kind of a busy intersection. I'm not really sure how all these power lines connect, so that's to be determined. And then this goes down here, and then it kind of like goes underground at that point, I think. Started adding trees in the residential area. This all used to be old farmland that they sold and developed, so obviously the trees shouldn't be very big. I haven't done anything over here. All I've done over here is add these power lines, which surprisingly takes a while. This is a farm. It's actually like a hobby bee farm that exists down in this gully. It's kind of a weird place to have a farm, um, in my opinion. Anyways, starting to add road signs and stuff like that, and have some of the lakes by the golf course here I'm adding in. And then down here, this is more housing development that needs to be built, and then industrial park. So haven't even gotten close to that. So this is actually a sub or transform station, I guess. It's just plumbing there, but it's going to be a big transform station. And then this is a golf course. I forget the name of the golf course. It's like I'm not exactly sure. So I've been just kind of adding power lines in this area. You can see some of the small pine trees. So that's starting to come together. And then this is a fairly large, this farm, that they have a grain silo complex and dryer that will go here eventually. And then I made this shed into a 60 by 100. Brought in the blender, so interesting. Those doors are backwards. Anyways, so that's a big machine shed. So this farm owns this large field, and then it owns the large field across the road here, and then it owns this large 288 acre field by the farm dealership. And then it owns a couple fields, I believe, up by the airport. So look really big in game, but according to the plat book, it's roughly around 600-700 acres to actually farm. So I mean, in game, it's a very large amount of land to farm, but in real life, it's small for a grain operation. So that's pretty much adding in some guardrails, and that's pretty much the gist of what I've been working on. All of this hasn't really been touched at all, just has one variety of trees. These are all fields that need put in. That's the airport. This is all going to be houses pretty much, and then the town and the trailer park and all that good stuff. And then I got kind of bored of working over there for a bit, so I ran over there. It's a really cool farm. It looks like it's a dairy farm that was converted into a beef operation. Not 100% positive on that, but just down the road here on St. Croix Trail. So this is a main artery on the Minnesota side. We're not on the Minnesota side. And so I started working over here. You can see the trees coming up. So this road, this is all kind of like residential houses. You know, there's like 3 or 4 houses back here. But it's a really cool, like, scenic road. And then here we start getting into some of the more pine trees and some bigger fields along the road here. So I've been just working on trying to get the trees as they are according to Google Map, and then this long guardrail. This thing took forever to put into. And then we come up to where this large farm is. It's just random buildings right now, but this is all going to be pasture right here where the dirt is, or kind of like a yard for the cows, and then they have kind of a swampy little pond here. But this is the farm that I really I'm excited to work on and build this, just because the area is so cool. It's on a really cool road. They got farms across the road here, you know, a field, and they put like hay bales. And then this area right here, I believe this is all like pasture, so this is all going to be fenced in. It's going to take forever to fence that in, but this place, when it's all done, is going to look really mint. And these are just huge fields that they're farming over here. So in game it will be a really big, probably dairy operation, and then more cool fields back here, and then there's like houses here overlooking this kind of valley. But this is like a really, it's gonna look really beautiful when it's all done, and it's gonna be super cool to actually play over here. When it's all done. I really wish there was a beef mod like there was in 15, because it'd be nice to have multiple like separate beef farms that function. But like if you were to buy beef, you'd have to transport it over to this farm. So that's one thing I do miss about 15. But this area is really cool. I like this area. Has a lot of potential to be a really cool farm. And then, you know, up the road here, there's going to be like an old, like right about here-ish, there's an old farm that's no longer functional. But if you're going to sell your grain, you're going to have to drive all the way down, you know. That's the neat thing about this map. Is so big, but there's only one sell point. Like, it'd take you an hour just to drive down this road. And then the second, there's really 3 big grain farms, I would say, that are actually in this area. All the way at the end of this road, there's and then this is like a nursery. This area right here is another location for a grain farm. It's not as big as the other one, but they also have some pretty cool terrain over here, like fields that you can farm on. It's pretty secluded. There's really nothing back here, except like a couple houses that are eventually going to be here, and then there's one lucky bastard that has a house back here overlooking the water in the middle of nowhere. No one's gonna buggy back there. It's like ideal location for a house. Anyway, so long ways to go, but it's kind of cool to see how this is all. And then there's a place that's right here. It's really bizarre way they have the layout going, but whatever. Anyways, so I'm done with this. Gonna try to move some bales here. So we have rain in the forecast, but it's not for a while. We really have no use for these bales yet, so Just gonna try to put them on the trailer and move them over. I think what I'll probably end up doing is putting in a bale cell point somewhere, so I can sell all my excess hay that I'm not using. Apparently I'm missing a bale on the other side. So I don't know if any of you guys went to How Farms Work, like farm day thing. I watched a couple videos. I saw that one lonely farmer in Cotton Top went there, so that's kind of cool that, you know, these famous YouTube celebrities, I guess you would call, you know, the people that do like the vlogs, video blogs. You know, I don't think I would ever do that. You know, my channel's pretty much just a gaming channel. I don't farm in real life, and my life is pretty boring. That's pretty cool that they like flew and drove over there. And for that event. And I saw some like other smaller channels, you know, they were kind of like posting that they're on their way to that event as well, so it's cool stuff. So I don't have let's bump this out of save up to like half hour. Player lift scale. Dynamic pose difficulty. I don't know what that is. Player grab distance. So we'll strap these babies down. So we'll just putz on back to the farm here. So it looks like autumn is coming up in 2 days, so we're gonna have a change of crops and trees. Really not sure what we're gonna do, if we should spray now or not. I think we'll probably hold off on that. I think I'm going down the wrong driveway too. I'd really like to get a different barn in here in a different silo setup, but too many things to do, not enough time really. I'm not real sure what I want to do for a bale shed. I don't really like putting my bales in this one, but that's what I'm doing right now because that's pretty much where I have my snow mask painted. So I think I'm going to try to grab this. because I'm the Hulk. And let's see if that works. I'd like to have a bale shed with just a roof on it and no sides. This makes it so easy. It's like this thing is probably like 2,000 pounds, if not more. Nice thing with the straps is you can kind of manage the mess a little bit easier, so bales don't go flying. Because if you kind of like love tap one of these things, just goes flying. Have I checked out the UMRV map? Can't say I have. I don't really pay much attention to what's going on out there. Just I have too many of my own projects going on. But especially with this map, a lot of other pieces of equipment I'm trying to model up here. Just don't really have any time or interest in seeing what else is going on. Whoa, what's this guy doing? So I always like hold my breath when I'm doing this. I would use a loader, but I only have one loader tractor. There really isn't a whole lot of space to maneuver. I'd use a skid loader as well, but the way those things handle in game is just horrendous. Alright, so we're pretty much done over here. Holy crap, what happened? So I mean, this these things are so sketchy. Get so nervous. And so what I'll probably do is grab it by the side and kind of like perfect sidestep it. Alright, that was pretty painless. Go back out for another load here. I'm kind of disappointed in Google Earth and Google Maps. I'd like to creep a little bit more on these areas when I'm trying to build them, because a flat 2D picture is pretty difficult, and I don't have the ability to just like go out and drive and take pictures. So the building of these farms and the trees, it's been kind of slow. Back in our 6R here. I think the next tractor we're going to get on the farm will probably be a 7R. I don't think we're ever going to really need an 8R at this point because we have our old 4-wheel drive. But a 7R would be nice for planting and doing other things. 6R works great, but 7R would be something I can put a loader on it and use for field work. So these things have been rained on like a couple times. 6,673. So we lose a little bit because there's no snow mask. The way Seasons mod works is if you paint in a snow mask, you won't. A lot of the coating will ignore what's ever sitting in that snow mask. So like under all my buildings and stuff, I have that painted. So. We really don't even need these bales. I think my next project this week is to put in some of these bale cell triggers at some of the hobby farms around the area. Some of these like this horse farm, and the farm up on top of the hill is also, I think, a horse farm, small beef operation. So I might put like some cell triggers in there for hay. Usually bales don't behave that well. So there's supposed to be a solar eclipse today. It already went by everyone by now, I think. Here in Boston, I didn't really see anything. It was just kind of like a cloudy day when it did happen. Just kind of a regular overcast cloudy, it wasn't dark or anything. We were ways out of the way for the direct eclipse path, but that's fine. bales are kind of... Between the logs and bales in this game, they've never, ever, ever worked well. That's a pretty good angle, right? You'd think they would kind of roll towards the front, but not rolling as much as I'd like them to. Gonna get a decent load on this trailer for once. Top. I personally would like to use the big square bales, just because they're easier to move and stack. But using the big rounds is pretty fun. So I was watching a video that I recorded privately with this on the OBS, and I feel like the quality was pretty poor compared to my eye action that I used to use. But at the same time, I couldn't have like features like when someone subscribes, it kind of does like an alert thing with like the person's account name and stuff, which I think that's pretty cool. But I feel like the quality is not as good, even if you record it and save it at the same resolution. Oh wow, my truck she needs gas. This actually isn't a Duramax. I need to change that. This is actually a Vortec config. Maybe I'll just get rid of the Vortec and keep it a Duramax and change the sound. So this is a heavy load. I have the truck pinned right now and we're going 29 miles an hour. Tailgate's down a little bit. Alright. Take that off. Take that off. See if I can grab this one. Ooh, that was close. So I have a light switch right here. Nope, it's outdoor light. Indoor lights here. So I put lights in the shed so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. I'm gonna put straps on these two so they don't go flying all over. on that one. Take straps off this one. I like how you can watch the trailer suspension. Oh, the bale fell off. So this is going a lot better than last time we tried to do this. Last time I had to quit because I was getting frustrated with this. But things seem to be going a little bit smoother this time. I don't know how you guys farm, but us Wisconsin boys, we don't need tractors and hydraulics. We do everything by hand. Whoa. I'm like stuck. That's why we have to have all that milk and cheese to keep our bones strong when we're carrying 2,000-pound hay bales all day. That's kind of weird. Alright, so that's a pretty decent chunk. Almost got a whole new layer stacked in there. I'm gonna fill this thing up with fuel. I think I have a gas tank over here. Yep, sure do. So I'm gonna take a break for a bit. But I'll be back soon. Alright, I'm back. Got a full tank of gas. Buzz back to this field, load up again. Ouch, that's expensive. 376 bucks to fill up this truck. I feel that's a bit exaggerated. Apparently we're filling this thing up with jet fuel. Alright, so we should be able to get the rest of these bales on this trailer. I don't see why we can't. And we should literally have enough hay for the rest of the season. Like, we're not going to feed out all this hay. We don't have enough cows. We don't have enough money to buy more cows, so definitely before I make another video, I'm going to add some bale triggers. I don't have a second trailer because, one, I don't have loader for any of the other tractors I own, and I can't afford to buy another one of these, so I'm kind of playing Popeye for a bit. I mean, I would like to use the skid loader, but I'd be so pissed off with the physics and the way those skid loaders handle in game. They're so like torquey and just it's not ideal. I might mess around with the skid loader again, but when I was using it on the default map and trying to use pallets and stuff like that, then it wasn't going too well. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. There's definitely a lot more talented people out there in terms of modding and modeling. Like oh shit. Oh shit. Like Raphael and them, they're a lot. You know, their work is much more professional. I mean, they take more time, obviously, like in terms of UV mapping and texture, like. The only thing I really spend time doing is doing manual UV mapping now, and maybe doing manual painting for spec maps. There's people out there that really know like Photoshop really well. Obviously, Maya has a lot more features that you can utilize in this game. Like for example, Blender, you can do aperture and bones, but I don't believe any of that is actually transferable to the game. Where Maya, you can do animated hoses and stuff like that, and like the actual shaders that. Are actually transferable to the game through Maya. And I have both Photoshop and Maya. I just never taken the time. I feel like I don't have the energy to learn 2 new programs. I'm sure there's great videos out there on YouTube, but I'm pretty happy at the moment with just using Blender. I can be pretty effective in that program. I could work fast, get a pretty decent result. Or if I would have, Maya's obviously a better program, but it'd take me probably 20 times as long to do the same task in Maya than it takes me to do in Blender at the moment. So, same with Photoshop. Like I can do what I need to do with Paint and GIMP without really needing to learn how to use Photoshop. Those are definitely like goals I would like to get to. I don't know why. From that side of the trailer, these bales are coming off more difficult. Anyways, this season's mod is a real game changer. Like, I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of cool features you can do with the map. I haven't put in any bushes yet. I just have trees, but I like to put in bushes because I believe those change color with the seasons as well. I think the best place, if you're trying to learn like a new modeling program, or, for example, Blender, people always ask me like, where do I start? What should I do? How to like learn and stuff like that. And my advice would be to start with a building, because with a building you get to learn all the features of the modeling program. You get to learn how to UV map the geometry around textures, and you can be pretty sloppy. You don't have to like build with UV maps in mind or origins and stuff like that, like you would if you're trying to in-game and implement or something. So you don't have to worry about scripting anything, which is a whole nother ball of wax. But I'd say starting, if you're trying to like learn to model, I'd start with just a static map object, like a shed or a barn, anything really. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and it's gonna be frustrating. But if it's something you value, if it's a skill you value to have, I'd say stick with it. Trying to figure what's the best way to kind of push this bale. Obviously you can like do stuff in Giants Editor too, but you're pretty limited with some primitive stuff, and it will never really look good if you're trying to like make something in GE. Like Lego built something, it never turns out good. That's obviously like where we all start and progress from there. 'Cause it's easy. The only downside with Giants Editor is it's so unstable that you're really limited. At the mercy of the program, like. Done a lot of work in GE, especially with map when it's trying to render a lot of geometry. Like this map, just the terrain on any map is like a million or 2-3 million vertices. Clover Creek's a good map. I know Cole's making a lot of making a lot of changes to it right now. But it's a similar map. I mean, initially it was based off of a pretty real area, but now I think it's just kind of loose. It's been edited. I don't think it's loosely based on an area that actually exists now. With this map, I'm trying to stay as authentic as I can possibly be. I generally don't do shoutouts or advertise other channels, especially if I don't know who you are, or if I've never seen your work. I'm not going to vouch for something I don't know. Hoping these back bales would roll up for took forever. Still have 2 small fields with bales in them, I'm pretty sure. Probably like 10 bales or so left. I remember when we were on the server and we were trying to lock down logs on the train and the game would crash. Classic Giants. Well, that's an ugly stacking job, but what can we do? So it is currently 52 degrees Fahrenheit, soil temp 48. Looks like it's going to be warming up pretty soon here in the next couple of days. 80 degrees on Friday. Making our poor truck here work. I have no traffic splines in the map yet, so I don't have to worry about traffic, but definitely like to implement that. So once again, this baby is pinned. A little lighter load than last time, about 2 bales short, 3 bales short or something like that. So I forget how many cows we actually own. We own 78 cows. Perfect. Power food. So we have, apparently our cows don't eat that much. So let's take this into the shed here. Yeah, so we have 2 spots still up here. Perfect. So what I think we're going to do is I'm going to put like the old, what is it called, dovetail or beaver tail on this trailer with ramps. So I have a little shorter trailer with ramps on it. 'Cause I don't like driving that large trailer. It's just too long. Oh yeah, this is the Hulk for sure. I don't even know how many stacks we have in here. We have like 3, yeah, 3 rows. So we got a pretty good stockpile of hay. Like I said, I'd like to use like a skid loader for this, but just the way those things handle in this game is terrible. That's pretty close. Yeah, I think back problems would be the least of your worries if you're trying to lift these bales by hand. You would end up being what we call in medicine a case study with all the problems you would have. But can you imagine if you could just lift these bales? Maybe in Halo or something where you're genetically modified, super strong. I remember when I was little, like in high school and middle school, one of my friends, he was a farmer. They actually raised bison. They were bison farmers, and I would go help them when they were baling hay and they were making alfalfa and straw and stacking those. They're just square bales. But seriously, like after a couple days of that, and like we were pretty like in shape. Played football and hockey, but you're moving hundreds, thousands of bales. Plus, it's itchy as hell. Wasn't fun. Skin super agitated from all that straw and hay. Don't miss those days. All right, last one coming up. Well, not quite, but from that field. I don't even know what I'm going to use all this hay for. Oh shit. if we can put this one back. I wonder why that one's acting all funny. That was a mistake. Don't understand why this bale keeps going sideways. Alright, I can lift that. Flip this one over again. Alright. Come back over here and turn this light off. So all that hay is from field 26. And I believe there's more up in these two small hay fields too, so just drive down there and see what's up. Yeah, I can see them. Not really sure if I need to put them on the trailer or not, because it's not that far of a drive, but since I have it, might as well. Just park it here. Gonna destroy all this hay with our tractor. So this is our big tractor. So this is full. I think all of our silage is full. So we don't need to cut silage anytime soon. Our bunks for our cows are full. Sprayer's dirty. I mean, the only thing we have left to do is move some hay bales. And then zoom in on what's going on up here. Take that off. I don't care about plowing at this point. So I think we should be fine with fertilization. I'll probably fertilize these 3 hay. Well, that also needs. The only hay field we have for fertilizer is 17. Interesting. So I think what I'm gonna do is call it a day for the stream because I'm kind of sick of moving these bales. And then we'll go from there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We got 18 hay bales left to move. And then we might do some spraying after that, because I think it's due. Or we can, well, we don't need a chopper. Silo's full. So that field and this field needs to be sprayed. This 28%, that's it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.